Thank you. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Okay, good morning. How's everybody doing? All right, so a couple of things. I want to thank you. First, for your hard-earned money. Okay, a lot of you spent money to be here, and I do not take that lightly. None of the speakers take that lightly, so thank you so much. But most importantly, thank you for your time. We understand and we know as real estate agents how valuable our time is. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. Thank you for spending your time with us. But I promise you, we are going to pile drive you with as much value as possible. So I'm going to mix things up a little bit. You got a little song that you can do? Okay, everyone stand up. Everyone stand up. Come on. Come on, everyone start dancing. Come on. Come on, get weird. Come on, do it. Come on. Come on. Okay, everyone sit down and listen to me for the next 30 minutes. Oh crap, nope, there we go. So, work-life balance. As I got into real estate, one of my mentors had said to me, are you going to be married to your wife, or are you going to be married to real estate? It wasn't really an option. And I said, well, I'm going to be married to both. And it's something that my wife and I have navigated. We've fought. We've argued. I've left the house. She's left the house, right? She's also kicked me out of the door to sell more homes, right? But my whole point is, as we go through this crazy market, we have to make sure that our significant other is on board fully. And they have to understand what you're doing, which I'm going to go into a little bit more in a little bit, okay? But as you start to navigate, I'm sure some of my team members are like, oh, great, this thing again. So on the left side, you're going to see life. That's anything outside of work. Doctor's appointments, the gym, whatever, okay? There we go. On the right side is work. It's something that we all do a lot as real estate agents. We know what it takes to be successful in real estate, and it's a lot of hours, right? So the hardest thing is navigating your life while you navigate your real estate business. Callie and I, we've kind of intertwined, right? Like, life through real estate is also life with my family, if that makes sense. So, for instance, this is like an S, okay? And everyone's S looks a little bit different. I equate it to like a snake because you go from one side to the other, sometimes every day, sometimes every month, sometimes yearly. For instance, the last 14 to 16 months, everyone knows what's gone on with the real estate market. I will tell you, I've been on this side way more than this side, right? I'm working more now than I ever have, just because it's a season, but I also communicated that with my wife so she could understand. So the whole thing I want you to understand is when you're going on the work side, you have to make sure that it's followed up by life. You can work six days a week, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. But when you're not with your significant other, there's a few things that happen. One, your buckets don't get filled, which we're going to go into in a minute. But two, it's resentment. Okay? There's real burnout in real estate. There really is. Who's felt burnout in real estate? Okay, I mean, pretty much everyone's raising their hand, okay? And it's because you have to navigate work and life together. It's really, really difficult, okay? So, and here's how you do that. So, here's my different hats: dad, brother, son, husband, boss, friend. I have multiple other hats. What are some of the hats that you guys have? Grandma. What else? What'd you say? Driver. What else? Yeah, right? Taxi driver. What else? We got a lot of stuff that we do every single day. The sun goes up, the sun goes down, and we're expected 100% in each one of our hats. Okay? But let me give you an example. So we work all day, 12 hours, 14 hours. And I'm not exaggerating, because in real estate, you know how much you have to work. You get home. You take another phone call. Your kids go to bed, right? Your significant other says, well, it's nice to see you. You talk for 30 minutes and then you go to bed, right? Like, that's how a lot of real estate agents work. How do I know? Because I did it, okay? And so what you have to understand is these hats are all just as important as your work hat. And understanding what each hat needs. Like, I know my wife needs quality time. That's her love language. So I have to make sure that if I'm working, like last week I worked, it was crazy. But I made sure that I took Friday with my wife because I worked Monday through Thursday, like crazy hours. I didn't see her at all. So I was able to balance that in 1 week, if that makes sense. So as you see, as you're a dad, a brother, a son, whatever it may be, an example of what I do is I have to physically do it. So when I get home after a long day, I pull into the driveway, okay? And I physically do this. Yeah, I really do. And that's me moving from boss, friend, work, agent to husband and father. Okay, but for me, I physically have to do this, or I don't transition. We give 110% every day at the office. But why wouldn't we give 110% from the minute we step at home? Right? We're so easy to give up the things at home before work. But if your home life isn't taken care of, the work part doesn't matter. That's the hardest part. So, with the ups and downs of real estate, how many of you have seen Haunted Mansion, the first one? And with Eddie Murphy, I don't know if you remember this, but he is a real estate agent. So here's a couple examples. I mean, here's a clip.
Fantastic. Have you been? No, never been there. Promise me you'll be. Promise. I promise. I'll go if you sign. I will go to Hawaii if you sign, but I gotta get going now because it's my anniversary and then I'm trying to get home.
Your anniversary?
Yes, it's my
Happy anniversary!
Thank you. Sign that thing here.
Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary! Happy, 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 happy.
I signed this!
Okay, Jim.
Sorry about that. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Okay, bye-bye.
Excuse me, did I hear you correctly? Did you just sell their house?
I sure did. Because we're looking to buy. Forgive me. Well, I'm Jim Evers of Evers & Evers Real Estate. Tell me about your dream house. Hi, Sarah. My name's Teddy. Your husband told me to tell you that he loved you very much, but sometimes he loses track of the time. I'm sorry I'm late. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yes. Look at what he brought you.
How many people have experienced something like that, right? You're out and about, just hanging out, and all of a sudden you hear real estate, right? It's like a beacon, right? As it should be. But what you see in this clip is he turns the switch on, okay? And turning the switch is really difficult, but once you figure out how to turn that switch on, real estate becomes easier. And the easier real estate is, the easier your life is, just to be frank.
Just real quick, and another thing is, when you're out and about and other people hear someone say something about real estate, your dad, first thing he's over there is the card.
Exactly.
Right here.
And
I mean, I don't care when you sit in a restaurant and he can hear the word and he's gone.
And that's the point, right? So the key is to flip that switch and understand when you need to. And sometimes you're flipping that switch from work to dad, or work to wife, or work to friend, or work to son, or work to daughter. But knowing when to flip that switch, just like he did right here, right? He was excited. Oh, I'm going to go home, I'm going to be with my wife for my anniversary. And then boom, real estate. And it was like, oh, crap. But then I'm on, right? Flipping that switch, which I need to flip right here, is super, 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 super important. And I want to talk just a little bit about how Callie and I kind of made it work. So every Sunday, even now, we sit down and we know each other's schedules. We know if I have a busy week or if she has a busy week. She knows if she has to help with a few things or if I have to help with a few things. Something else that we dedicated to is a date night every week. It's something we rarely miss unless we go out of town. It's something that it gives us our time. Have I worked during it? Absolutely. Have I taken a Zillow lead and ran out of the restaurant? Absolutely. Have I left that date night and we go show a home? Absolutely. Right? Because she's bought into the vision, which is the next most important piece. This is my favorite part because I like to talk big. I like to be in the clouds, as Jerem says. I like to live up there. Okay? So, when I first got into real estate, I knew it was going to be very, very, very difficult. And I knew it was going to be long hours. But I also knew that my wife's love language was time. And I knew that that didn't really go hand in hand with me starting a new business. So I sat down and I said, listen, here's my goals. Here's what I want to do. Are you okay with this? And she goes, yeah, but it's going to be a lot of time. I said, here's what we'll do. If we make $250,000, I think this was 2015. If we make $250,000, I'll take you on a tropical vacation. I made her close her eyes. I made her picture herself getting a massage on the beach in a cottage. I mean, I sold that dream hard because I knew that if I was really going to do this, I would need her buy-in. And this is the most important piece. Getting buy-in from your significant other will make or break you. Because if they're not in and you're not home at 7, it's going to make you feel like crap. Our buy-in was so strong, she knew, do not call me during lead gen. I won't pick up the phone. If she calls twice, I'll pick up. Right? So it's a matter of showing that vision. So what I did was I painted that picture, and I just told her, I said, this is what we're going to do. And then we did it. So that year we closed 56 transactions for $256,000. This is a picture of my wife and I at the beach. I was 2 years late taking her because I continued to work, which was my fault. But this trip was incredible for us, and it really was the first time that I had hit a goal in real estate. Like I had many goals, but a yearly goal to hit in real estate is actually really hard. Because we overestimate what we'll do in a year, but we underestimate what we'll do in 5, right? So getting your significant other's buy-in is the crucial thing. She would literally kick me out the door. What are you doing home? It's only 4. I'm like, well, I had a slow day. Well, get back to the office. And the office I would go, right? Because I painted the picture so good that she didn't want to miss it, right? Okay. Filling your buckets and understanding what your buckets are. So what did we talk about? We talked about work-life balance. We talked about buy-in from your significant other. But none of that matters unless you're focusing on yourself. None of it. So these buckets represent things that you either do every day, every week, every month. It just depends. Everyone's bucket's a little bit different. Like my wife's gym bucket is like huge, and my gym bucket's like, I'll go twice a week, right? She's there multiple times a day, pretty much. So, but that makes her smile. That makes her happy. So she makes sure she touches that bucket every single day. So you guys have a worksheet in front of you. I would take 30 seconds and just write out some of your buckets. Really think about it. This is a time to work on yourself, no one else. What are your buckets? Okay, start naming some buckets. What we got? Personal care, health, love it. What else? Ooh, now we're talking. What else? Anyone got hobbies on there? Who's got pickleball? All right, Amir's got pickleball. What else? Faith, love it. Friendship, love it. It's things that are so important that as you focus on too much work or you focus on too much of one thing, the others don't get any drops from you. So it's understanding which buckets are most important for you and touching those every single day. Right? For me, professional growth. It's something I do every single morning. And as real estate agents, it should be something that you touch almost every single day because it changes your life. It makes you positive before you jump on the phone and people are negative. The happier you are, the more you educate yourself, the more you work on your skills, the better you are for your clients. The better you are for your clients, the happier you are. The happier you are, the better your family is. The happier your family is, the better life you have. But it all starts from working on yourself. As hard as that is, it's really, really difficult. Slide time. Takes effort. It's really, really difficult to wake up just a little bit early to listen to a podcast. It's really, really difficult to wake up at 4:30 in the morning and go to the gym. It is. It's really, really hard. But in what we do, it takes effort. Studies show that real estate professionals who invest in ongoing education increase their earnings by up to 30%. 30%. 90% of successful agents attribute their achievements to staying current with industry trends and best practices. Did you also know that 90% of agents don't make it in their first year? I wonder why. Right? Because when you work on yourself, you're going to be better every single day, even if it's just a little bit. But if you can be better just a little bit each day, you're doing more than 90% of everyone else. Right? And if we can just do a little bit more, it gives us that little bit of edge. We make a little bit more money. I'm about to fall off the stage. Okay? So how do we get started? I know there's several individuals. I know Adam reads several books a month, right? But some of you don't know how to get started, and it's daunting. It's scary. I don't have time for this. Yes, you do. Because on average, people watch 3.5 hours of TV a day. That's the average. So I'm just saying do 3 hours. 3 hours and 15 minutes. Work on yourself. Read a book a quarter. Oh, that's nice over there. Read a book a quarter. Okay? Attend a seminar just like you are today. You guys are going to get so many nuggets out of today, and you're going to be like, what do I do? How do I implement all this? I'm not telling you to implement all of it. Just implement a couple things, which we're going to go through next. Okay? The 15 minutes a day is a podcast. Maybe it's songs. It's something to benefit you and be positive first thing in the morning. I started doing gratitude messages. Try being angry when you send three text messages and you're thanking somebody. Try to be angry after that. Can't. It's all about setting your mental, your mentality to make sure that you can hit it hard during the day and then have energy for your family. So everyone's got a couple of books. A pamphlet there with my favorite books. I'm reading Unreasonable Hospitality for the third time right now. It's something that we're working on as a team because I firmly believe that if you take care of people, they'll take care of you, right? But you have to take care of people without expectations. That's the hardest part. It's not expecting anything. And that's Unreasonable Hospitality, which I love. Okay, so tonight, I want all of you, if you don't have an accountability partner, get one. Paint that picture, paint that dream of what you want. If it's making sure that person comes with you, all expenses paid, whatever. If it's paying off a car, if it's buying a new house, if it's buying 3 investment properties, whatever it is, don't wait till January. Everyone waits till January, and then by March, they're not even focused on their goals anymore. I'm asking you to do it tonight. Work on you today. So tonight, you go home, and you figure out what that is. and you get their buy-in. If you don't have their buy-in, you didn't paint the picture good enough. I literally had her close her eyes. I would recommend the same. Envision yourself and them wherever or whatever it is. Maybe it's getting a deed to a paid-off house. Okay? Tomorrow, pick the top 3 things that you learned and attack those strategies. You're going to have a list of 20, 30 things that you wrote down. Just pick your top 3 of the most important. You can go back later to the other stuff. It's just, if you look at that list, it's going to be very daunting, and then you're not going to do anything. And then today means nothing. You might as well just went home and sat on the couch and watched 3.5 hours of TV, right? Unless you do something about it. So, a week from now, revisit the handouts and look to make sure that you are implementing the strategies that you want. And then a month from now, like for the month, I would set a calendar invite for a month from now. And then it makes you do it. You have to put stop gaps in to make yourself do it, because Americans are lazy. It's just the way that we are. We were bred that way. Okay? So, and then evaluate your goals and adjust them. That's the most important thing. Okay? So, today, you're going to learn a lot. Again, I thank you all for coming. But I just want to take a minute for this next gentleman that's going to come up here, because your pen should run out of ink. Okay? He's a 33% converter on Zillow. He's been a part of a couple thousand transactions. He's sold several hundred homes. He's a commercial developer. He also has his contractor's license. I was like, hey, Jay, we need to get plumbing. He got it a week later. This dude works harder than anybody I've ever met in my life. He's one of my best friends. I'm lucky to call him a business partner. And more importantly, I'm lucky to call him my friend. So make sure you take notes. Get loud for Jerem Rogers.